This is Navy Old Salt Gamer. We're on Mars. This will be episode 3. I've been working behind the scenes, and I'll let you know real quick what I've been doing. Yesterday's video ran a little longer than I intended, so we're going to try to be a little more organized today. I put some lights in here. I have my suit off to try and help my hygiene. Not an important thing, but righty, let's get ready to go here. On. Close and lock. Okay. Okay, so to be more organized, I made a list over here. The first thing we're going to hit is survival. What do you need to survive? Well, you need water, you need atmosphere, and you need food. We're okay for atmosphere. We got a room to live in. We got a tank full of oxygen in there, so I put that second. Food, we have this can over here and 2 more cans, so we're okay there. Water, I've actually drank 2 of my bottles, so I think we're going to knock out water first. And then secondary, I may actually do upgrade mods to my, at least one of them, to my manufacturing equipment. But the tool maker we're going to need eventually, because I want to have a laptop, and I want to get rid of this welding torch and use a arc welder. Long-term mining, I'm not a big fan of mining, so we're going to set up some deep miners and some sorters and stackers and silos and get that going. And then further down the road, trade in rockets. This is a very fluid one. I may be adding more, who knows. And then improvements. This is long down the road, probably, after we get most of this other stuff done. You know, like, I want to make my own volatiles on this base. I haven't done that really yet, using a couple pieces of equipment, and then base decor. If anybody has any recommendations for improvements, feel free to message me, and we can incorporate those. And as a matter of fact, anything on here. If there's something you want to see, just let me know, and we will add it in here. Okay, so in an effort to start my survival list, I did a lot of pre-building on this because I didn't want you guys to watch me build things. So if you have any questions on how to build this stuff, you can look them up in the F1. Like I made these signs, you just look up F1 and type in what you want. But basically for water, you're going to need an ice crusher. I use insulated pipe. You could use regular pipe, but then if you have cold ice, it's going to cool your room off. It affects the temperature of your room. So I just like to use insulated pipe. Water filler, and you're going to need some cables, and you're going to need some ice, which I'm going to have to pause the mic because I did not mine any ice yet. But I don't have to do that right away anyway. But you know, mining the ice looks like just white, because I have white ice laying around. And I'm going to take my empty. I have 2. That's all I really need. I think I have 2 full ones, so we'll go from there. I'm trying to find my water bottle here, because I need that. And there is one other thing. Where is it? I can never find this stupid thing. There it is, way up top. And there is one other thing that I forgot to make, and it'll only take a second. And that is, in the atmospherics, you need a utility. And I did put stackers up on all these things. I cheat, I shouldn't. It automatically falls in. You should really put chutes in there. It's kind of a exploit. Just being lazy. It's only 1 chute, so it's not that big of a deal. But see, when it comes out, it automatically just falls right into the stacker. Alright, so let's go take care of our water supply. Now, this will be our, I guess our foyer would be a good name for this room. Things that we do at the very, you know, you got your water here, and maybe eventually we'll put, speaking of which, we'll put a soup holder here so I just don't have to chuck it on the floor to try and get rid of this. And I do need water already, but we'll wait off on that. Okay, so let's put the ice crusher in the corner here. You want the arrow facing, that's pretty good. Can I go over one more? Yeah, why not? Nope. Okay. So I'll put it right there. I don't remember what I need in here. I should put some of this down. I think is it iron sheets? This is another reason to get rid of this welder, because if you weld inside your building, yeah, this is going to release some pollutants into the room, and I don't like that.
Temperature high.
I don't like that. So, oh hush. I think I need coils at this point. Yep. Okay, so there's your ice crusher. Now, I don't want to use these coils anymore. I got my little connector here. I want to run this around the outside so it doesn't interfere with my piping. This way I can keep it right along the back here. And it's hard to see because I don't have a light with my helmet off. Now this is going to go behind the iron wall. The only problem this was caused if it ties in with any of my outside wires. I don't think it will. We'll find out shortly. Nope. Okay. Next thing you want to put down. Now let's put the utility down first. And what you need is that. And that should be a good spot for it. We'll put that there. We'll put the water bottle, water canister in there. And I'm going to put my suit on for a second. Just to, okay, so that's the bottom one. You only do this once per game, so I want the bottom one for the water. I have my water pipes. Go down, over to a T here, and then put your water bottle filler here, just like that. I have the power right there, comes in nice and handy. Boom, turn this on, and I don't have any power. Why wouldn't I have any power? I'm in the wrong spot. Yes, I am. Sorry. Now, there we go. No errors. So now if I put my empty bottles in there, it fills them up. Now this will last you about, 1 liter is 1 water bottle. So even though it says 1 liter in here, it actually filled up the pipes. So I'm going to take that one, put this over here, because my thirst in decay, I don't stink anymore. Look at that. Put that, take the full one and put them up here. Next time I come in, I'll go make sure I got power there. I do not. What is going on here? I never have these problems until I'm recording a video. That's the power. Let me go see what, hopefully I didn't interfere with any wires out here. This is another problem with walls. They're nice in a way and they're not so nice in a way. They hide. Yeah, I missed a cable. Well, how in the world is my water stacker working? That's weird. There we go. The water bottle filler working. Now I should have it. Okay. Now there is one thing I didn't add on this, and if I was using ice, you do need to put now, because remember when you crush ice or use ice, it makes nitrogen, which is perfect to release into your room, by the way. So you have to put a regular pipe on here with a cowl or an exhaust vent, or else eventually your ice crusher will blow up. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I have pipes, but I did not make a cowl. There's the pipes. Keep my wires. And we'll come over here. And real quick, go WL. And we'll just put that on the end of that. I have rearranged my chutes over here. I put a windowed chute here so I can see. And you can see I haven't used any coal. I did a bunch of mining for coal thinking I was going to use a bunch. I've made a bunch of ores, made a bunch of equipment in my locker here, which we'll get to. And I haven't used 50 coal yet, so I would recommend automating this generator as soon as possible. It is very much worth it. You save a ton of coal, a ton of time. So now all I want to do is I'm just going to go out to the side here, and then I'm going to put the cowl on the end of it. So now when I melt ice, the nitrogen won't build up inside. Eventually the pressure will blow something. But if you put a pipe on here, put a cowl on it, it just vents it right into the room, and it's a done deal. So, guess what? Our first survival issue is remedied. We now have a source of water. All we have to do is go out and mine ice, crush it, and it'll fill the bottle, fill the water bottle. So we can cross. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let's see. We'll just put that next to it. Water's done. Now, you can do this in any order you want. I would recommend water first, because that's probably going to be the first thing you will run out of on most planets. You can switch these around. Right now, for example, I could just drop ice in here and it would just melt and make more pressure, more oxygen. And you can see how the kPa went from 34 to 40. So you could pressurize your room with ice. I have, hard to see, my oxygen tank is still in the red. I mean, I've got plenty of oxygen. So technically, you could start food if you wanted to. I'm going to refill this while I'm here. Why not?
Air tank critical. Low pressure.
Okay.
Oxygen low.
And we're going
Waste tank critical.
to dump this in here. See, I got 1,000 in there. See how the pressure goes up.
Oxygen low.
Yeah, and then went up one. And it hollers at you when you're doing all this stuff. It's not a big deal. Alright. So, next step for me is going to be atmospherics. So, what do you need for atmospherics? Well, you got gases to consider. You certainly want oxygen. You certainly want carbon, CO2. And nitrogen is nice to have. You do need it to grow plants, but it's at a very low level. Volatile tanks are really good. Um, you're going to need volatiles in the long run for a lot of things, so I'd like to filter volatiles. And believe it or not, I filter pollutants too, because pollutants come in handy later on in the game. So I'm looking at 5 atmospherics, and I have them. You see, I can get rid of. I don't need the water pipes right now. I will need those. I don't need that. I'm going to take my 1, 2, 3, 4, my 5 atmospherics, and I'm going to line them up over here. I like to keep the ones I'm going to need for my living area closest, and in the same order, just my preference. You can do whatever you want. Now, I'm going to keep the input side on the right, and you notice I cycle it until it says filtration. So I'm going to put 1, and of course you have to do this every time, cycle to filtration. I'm going to keep them 3 apart, 1, 2, 3. That's going to pretty much work out to be the center of every square. Oop. But I like to just check it anyway. Filter, 1, 2, 3. Let's see that one. 1, 2, 3. Did I make this one too big? I did. You know how it is with me and my OCD. I gotta fix this, or it'll drive me nuts. 1, 2, 3. And that means this one's out of whack. Switch it to filter. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Emergency avoided. Filter. 1, 2, 3. Filter. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so there's my 5 filters. Now I think I need water pipes next. Yep. I'm just going to walk down the road. Fill them with water pipes. Hopefully I got enough. I do. Not water pipes, I'm sorry. Gas pipes. Okay. And then is it cables? Not those. Regular cables. Screwdriver and cables. Okay. So I think this finishes them up. Okay. So really that's the easy part. It didn't sound, it probably didn't seem too easy, but it really is. Now I'm going to take a couple stacks of pipes. So this is going to be my input side. So I want to just, and I'm going to put a T down here for the time being. Line these all up. And you go through a lot of pipes, but I did pre-make pipes, so we should be okay. And then just connect all these together. Okay, so all those are connected. Now, over here you got your filtered, if I can line it up right, your filtered air. So I want this to go into the tank, and I like to put it, we'll leave it just 1 on this one. Switch my pipes. 1, we'll see if that works this way. And over here you have your unfiltered air. In other words, if I make this my oxygen filter, it's going to take all the oxygen, put it into the tank I'm going to put over here, and put the unfiltered air out over here. Well, I'm only filtering oxygen. So what I want to do is loop this, put a T here, loop that back into the input side so it goes down the line. You don't want to isolate this, you want to keep it in the loop. So I'm going to do that with every one of these. I'm going to need my wrench here. It's easier to do this all at once so you don't have to keep rotating around. straights in here. So I've used up almost 40 pipes already, so, but we've made it quite a ways in that short of a time. Now, notice on here, upgrade mods. I am going to do an upgrade mod right now, and I think it's in the, and I'll tell you why in a second here. And I might need some kind of metal, I don't know for sure. And if I do, I'll pause it and mine it. But I want to do, you just search for mod. The first thing, so I'm going to have to do two mods. I have to do the electronic printer mod to print out other mods. So I have steel. No, I need 35 electrum, Constantine, and solder. So I do have to make some ores now. Constantine, whatever the hell it is going to be the hardest one to make. But I will make that, and I'm not going to get too much into what is going on here. There. Constantine, where are you? Am I spelling that wrong? Probably. C-O-N-S-T. C-O-N-S-T. There it is. So you need copper, nickel, 50-50. You can make this in the regular furnace. So I'm not going to even go with the advanced furnace yet. Eventually, in a future episode, we will. That's one thing I could add to the list, advanced furnace. But I can just make this in regular furnace. Just got to up it to 20, above 20 MPa, and the temperature is pretty much any temperature. So it's pretty easy to make, so I'm not going to get into showing you how to do that. You can just do an F1 search and know what you need. So I'm going to pause it, and the other ores that I needed, electrum is easy. I might even have that somewhere. Maybe I used it all. So I'm going to make electrum too. I do. So I'm going to make some electrum, which is gold and silver, I believe, and solder. All pretty easy to make. So I will be back shortly. Okay, so after about 15 minutes, I made a bare minimum amount, pretty much, to get the two mods that I'm going to want. I did use a coal, so just kind of keeping an eye on that to see how efficient this is. I just had to add 50 coal, and I've been playing for about more than an hour, 2 hours probably. So let's make the electronic printers mod, and I split up some of the ore into other ones because I might need it, but we'll see how we're doing here. This is probably going to take a while. 7%. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause it again while that's being made. Okay, so that is finally done. Man, that took a long time. Where did they come from? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Now, putting a mod on is really easy. Screwdriver and the mod in the other hand. And there you go. This is the level 2 manufacturing item, level 2 electric print. So I kind of don't like this one as much. It makes you do more, but it also makes you wait. The other one you turn on and you can start doing stuff immediately. This one you have to wait till it kicks on, so it lets you do more, but it's kind of a pain. Okay, so now you see I have all the mods that I can make. I already got the electric printer mod, but I want an all-lathe printer mod, and I'll show you why. And I do have enough ore for everything. I could have taken it out of the other ones here. But let's get that started. And you can see it takes an incredibly long time to print. So I am going to pause it again. Okay, so before I continue, midstream, I kind of noticed I was printing out the wrong mod. I need the pipe bender mod, so I canceled that one. And I'm not putting out the correct mod. I never make these mistakes unless I'm recording a video, just to let you know. It's just kind of funny. Let's talk real quick while that's printing. Why am I doing the pipe bender mod? So let's look at a couple things. This is a regular tank. 10 megapascals. That's good. But let's go back and pick a mod 2 tank here. Here we go. We'll do 20 megapascals. This is quite an advantage in the long term. I like to have as much of this stuff built up as possible in case I need it. And also long term, if you start doing trading, it's good to have as much gas built up so you can make some money if you wanted to. I mean, that's all up to the individual how you want to play this. I like mod 2 tanks. You could just go, if you don't want to do the upgrades right away, you could just go with a regular tank and go to 10 megapascals. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. I like the bigger capacity tanks, and that filled up. Sorry, my phone ring. Okay, I don't want 2 of them. What in the world? My fingers are on the wrong keys. Okay, so there we go. I got the 2 upgrades I need. So let's look what I need for mod 2 tanks. I may have to get some. I don't want liquid. I don't want liquid. Mod 2, there it is at the top. Do I need anything special? I have steel. I think it's over here now. I'll just, yeah, I got 73. I need 5 mod 2 tanks. I'm going to have to make some more steel. Probably, unless I have steel somewhere else too. I might have to make a little bit more steel. I hate doing this, robbing Peter to pay Paul here. I try and keep things as spread out as possible, but inevitably, you're going to have to do this. Let me catch my rolling oars here.
Hunger, caution.
And I could have emptied my other hand and made this easier. Okay, I caught my rolling oars. Oh. And I kicked it. So we'll just keep it all together. I can split it up by setting. That's how I usually do it. When I resplit the oars, I just set the stacker to a lower number. Okay, so I have enough for, I think I have enough steel, barely. So we're going to go ahead and start making these tanks. Believe it or not, I think they stack. They're enormous, and I don't know why they let them stack. But do I have, I'm going to need a few more of these. These come out pretty quick, so I think I will make another. I wasn't sure if I could fit that in there, but I think I will make another gap in there. Oops, I'll have to go down here. So does that give me one? You know how to stack these, so I'll probably just pause this while this is going on. So again, I don't want to make this as long as yesterday's. That was pretty long. So I'm going to pause this while I put my tanks basically the same way, all the way down. 4 more of them. Okay, so I got all my tanks. I used basically all the steel I had. And I did have to make 4 of the connectors. Those were cheap, no big deal. So there you go, I got all my tanks in place. Now the next thing I want to do is wire it up, and I think I'm going to, this won't use a ton of power, so I think I'm going to connect it up over here Let's go off this way. And then I can use a heavy cable here. And eventually, pretty shortly actually, I'm probably going to have to upgrade these cables. That's something I'll do behind the scenes. So, I need to go down this way. And I'll just wire the first one of these up because, you know how to do cables. And then I'll pause everything and finish it. But basically you want the data and the power. And just like that, I'll wire all these right up through the path here. So I'm going to pause this and finish that up. Okay, so now I'm all wired up all the way up the chain. There's a couple things I got to do. I got to make the filters. I'll do that behind the scenes too. But the second thing, I got all these nice things hooked up. I got no source of air to put in here. So there's a couple things I'll do eventually. When I put my advanced furnace on here, I'm going to connect the output of the advanced furnace after I cool the gas, because I don't want 500 Kelvin gas going into these tanks and then going into my living area, because you're going to overheat your living area. Been there, done that. Let's see, I want an active vent. I should have enough. I am running low on ores after building all this stuff. Vent. Active. And this is just the start. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. There's a couple things we have to discuss before we go a whole lot further. So I'm just going to put an active vent here for now and run. By the way, that goes through a lot of cables wiring that stuff up. Now, before I turn that on, there's two things I want to consider. First, and let's get into the specifics here. Which one of these gases are going to cause the most problem, and why did I use insulated pipe? From experience, I know Mars gets to in the vicinity of -51 at night, probably a little less than that. So let's look at pollutants. Pollutant. So let's go down here, click use Celsius, go to where this is -51, somewhere in that area. It's probably safe. Let's go down to -40, so we're safe. Now look at the pressure, 2.37. If I go below that, at -40, I'm going to start to freeze. You don't want our liquefied or frozen water, it'll be actually liquefy first, in gas pipes. It will blow up. So I use insulated pipes. One, and you could still, if I use an active vent and pull in -43-degree air, you're still going to have that problem. So bottom line is, I want to keep everything pressurized above, and I'm sorry, this sliding thing is tricky. So we'll just say 2.6. If I go above that, then the temperatures, actually I probably want to keep it more up here at 3.6. That way, even the daylight, we'll say 3.6 and see how that works, but somewhere in that range. Otherwise, these things are going to start to freeze. So the way that I do this is a regulator, pressure regulator. I have plenty of gold. Usually I lose gold a lot faster than that. I'm kind of surprised. And I need a passive event. I did have to scavenge just about all my other ores out of these two to finish up my tanks. It was a lot of steel and stuff. That's another reason I like to get steel early, because of this. So, now how am I going to keep this from over-pressurizing, under-pressurizing, however you want to look at it? And I may have to adjust this to keep things from freezing, we'll see. So I'm going to put, and I hate how the wires are always on the wrong side. So I want it to go that way, and I want it to be a back pressure regulator, because I want to keep the pressure in the pipes to a certain level. So I want to use a back pressure regulator. And can I put this right on there now? I need to change that. Yes, you can. So now I got to run a crazy wire, and I call it a crazy wire because I have to go around another piece of gear, and my OCD does not like this. Plus it wastes cables. Alright, so that's wired up. I'm thinking I need to keep this at 36. We're going to have to watch this because I may have this. That chart is very difficult to figure out. 37, so we'll go to 37 and see if that keeps things from freezing. Now it is nighttime, and I am at a very low pressure. Oh, I left that on. So let's see what happens here just by turning this to inward. I think it already is. And let's see if I get nastiness in my pipes here. Not the way I want to go. There you go. So it does get to minus 49. Oh, another storm. You gotta be kidding me. And there goes my ores. Dadgummit. I left ores sitting out. Ah, they blew all over here. They also get damaged too, which is odd. You see how they're damaged now? That's not good. Let me put them over here real quick. I can barely walk in this. Okay, I picked them all up. They're getting damaged. Remember when I said don't leave ores laying around? I didn't listen to myself. Luckily I had everything else, all my important ores picked up, all my ingots. I think that's it. Luckily, also, they blew this way. Okay, so the storm, I know what. Secondary. Let's add something. And this is getting pretty full. I guess I'll have to put it at the top, so not letting me do it the way I want to. Weather station, so I can get a warning of when this stuff is coming. Okay, so let me pause this until this crazy storm is over. Okay, so I went inside and I hear something nasty happening, and the storm interrupted my research here. I hear pipes groaning and complaining out here. I gotta turn this off. You hear it? And I may have to, yeah, I'm at 110, so let's lower this and let all this air out of here. I think that should be good. Hopefully this is, there we go, stress is going down. So I do have to keep this lower pressure. So we're going to go to 2. Like I said, it interrupted my, and I'm not filtering it either because it interrupted me. So if I keep that at 2, it should stay pressurized until this storm is over, and I can build my filters and turn these on, which I didn't do yet. Okay, that is what the wonderful weather does to you. And it kind of, you know, kind of what it is on Mars. You get dust storms, but you have more warning. And I can get warning with a weather station, which is moving up on my list pretty rapidly. I take these back off. Might as well enjoy the fresh air. Alright, so I'm going to pause this again until the storm is gone. Okay, another crazy long storm. They've changed the storms on Mars. Those are long storms. So, real quick here. Filters. That'll be my next step. We'll do oxygen first. And we need 2 of them. Now, it's much better later on in the game. We need 2 to use the better kind of filters. I don't have the order for that yet, so I'm just going to put the plain ones in there. Now, while I was away, I was looking at this. So the temperature gets down to we'll just say minus 50. So the highest pressure I can keep this at is about 24. If I go, again, this is confusing. I was at 36. I want to keep it out of this range and keep it in this range. So I want to be, I'm going to have to experiment with it more, but I'm pretty sure I want to keep this around 2500. And we'll try that. Again, I'm going to watch it at night the first time. But since I am bringing in outside air, I may want to automate this, because I don't want really cold air in my insulated pipes either. So I may automate this to, where's the outside temperature? External 16 degrees. So maybe is that as high as it gets? I can't remember. But I may only want to turn this on when the temperature's at a decent pressure, and that might be the best way to do this. But now, since I got a filter, I'm going to turn that back on, and this should pressurize slowly to 2.6, and then my back pressure regulator should kick in, and it did, 2.47. You can see the air coming out of it. So that keeps that at a certain pressure. I can turn this on, and I start filtering oxygen out of the Mars atmosphere. And then let's go with this one. Will fill up faster. Actually, I don't need to do that, or do I? Yeah, let's go quicker. Filter. So we'll do 2 CO2s. Let's get rid of this again. Put the CO2s in here, and we can turn that on. Now Mars is mostly CO2, so this will pressurize a lot faster than the oxygen will. Yeah, that's really going up. We're at 11 kPa here. We're already at 257. So now, eventually, I'm going to have to worry about overpressurizing these, and that might be in the next episode. How do I control those? Let me pause this while I build all the filters so you don't have to sit here and watch me do that. Okay, so I got all the filters built. Some of these probably won't be filling up. Let's see how much air I'm using. So this is staying pressurized. It's kicking out some. But remember, Mars' atmosphere has CO2, nitrogen, and oxygen. So even though I got the volatile filter on, there's not going to be anything in it. It is pulling in a little bit of nitrogen. You see the CO2 is already up to 3 megapascals. That's going to fill up really fast. So next thing I want to do, and I'll end it after this video, I'm going to show you how to quickly and somewhat expensively automate the filters. I need some IC chips, and I hope I got everything I need to make IC chips so I don't have to pause it and... Oh! It helps to use the right... Oh, and I got no ores in this, so I'm going to have to transfer stuff over because I emptied this. Gold, I should have that. I'm not sure, though. I use so much of this stuff making all this other stuff. Oh, I hate when I have that in my hand when the roly-poly ores go rolling away. And I only have to make this once to demonstrate it. After that, you guys will be able to understand what my thought is. Now I'm a little concerned with all those running. I might be pushing the 5,000. I don't think so yet, but I'm a little, that's in the back of my mind. Where's my steel? Do I have to make steel for this? There's nothing left in there. I gotta make some steel. Okay, well, let me make some steel real quick. I got some coal over here. I'll have to do some mining. I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot. I picked up the ores that the wind was blowing around, and I have 36 steel. At some damage. I don't think that matters. And I put it in the wrong one. What is going on with my head? Alright, so that should give me enough for one. I'll have to make some more solder again. Oh no! Now why is it complaining? Let's turn this back off because it's just too cold at night. It's going down. It's the CO2. So I have to watch the CO2 also. CO2. It's actually called carbon in here, I think. CO2. It's pretty much the same. Keep it. Come on, filter it out before something blows up. There's no stress there. It's over here, isn't it? Yep. Is it going down? It is. Hopefully it goes down before something blows up. If it does, I'll just replace the pipe. So that's what I'm going to have to set this up to not pull in night air until I get the furnace set up on it. Sorry about that. Okay, so I had enough for 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Sounds like it's not complaining as much. Yeah, it's going down. I'm already up to 9 megapascals in here. I gotta get this one programmed. So, I want one more thing out of here, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough. I'm gonna have to do some more mining. Laptop. I need 2 electrum. Can you believe? I don't have any electrum laying around. None up here. Let's take all this stuff and put it in there. I can't. Unless I do it one at a time. Alright, well let me go get some gold. I got some gold there. I gotta get some silver. And we'll make a batch of electrum and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went out and mined a little bit. Just enough to get what I need here. Because this will be the last thing for today's episode. Laptops are nice. You don't have to have a computer around to edit IC chips. You can use a laptop. Works a lot, exactly the same as a computer, and it's a lot more handy. And that'll be the perfect use for this extra large battery that I made. So temporarily, let's put this down. I only got 2 of those left, huh? Oh. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to put this down. Pick this up. Open it. Put the battery. Where did I put the battery? Oh, I already set it in it. That's a neat trick. One more thing I need. Let's put this back down. I do need a motherboard. Oh man, am I going to have to make solder? IC editor. Oh, thank goodness. You see why I want to get the deep miners up, because I just hate running around and doing this stuff with these crazy mining stuff. Just drives me nuts. Alright, so I turned the CO2 off because I didn't want that to overpressurize. I am going to have to make this only come on at night the more I think about it. But let's go ahead and do this first. Last step for today. Drop the laptop, put this IG chip in it, and I have this from my previous games, and it's called the filter chip. So I'll just import that. Whenever you make one, it says created by unknown. I don't know why. Very simple program. And I don't even know if you need to do this. I do it because it kind of makes sense, but I don't know if you need to. But this just goes through loops, checks the output pressure of the filter, and if it's less than 900, it sets it to on, and this is kind of hard to explain here. If it's less, R0 is less than R0, so sorry about that, got interrupted. What this does is save less than R0 9000. So what it's saying is save the value of R0 if it's less than 9,000, and then down here it comes and sets it to mode whatever R0 equals, which is either going to be 1 or 0. And if it's less than 9,000, it's going to be 1. If it's greater than 9,000, it's not going to be true, so it's going to set it to 0. So I'm going to change this because now I have the Mark II tanks on there, so I'm going to raise that to 18. And if it is less than 18, then this is going to be true, and it's going to save the filter mode to on or running. Once it reaches 18, it's going to set the filter mode to idle, which is 0. So it'll keep looping back and forth with that, so I'll confirm that. Why did it pick it up? That's odd. Export it to the chip, and I'll put it in there. Now it's daytime, so I can turn this back on, but so that's running. So if this gets to it's still minus degrees. Oh, I don't have the air on. I have to automate this. That's going to be next on my list. And now it's going up, and the temperature should go up too. It's not going to matter too much if your air is cooler than what you desire in your room, because if I run in here, let me pick this up in case a stupid storm comes. Yeah, it's always low. It's because I'm running around mining. If you go in here, now I haven't done anything in here but stand, and look, it's already 18 Celsius. Remember yesterday when I melted the ice, it was at 3. So if it's a little cooler, it's not going to hurt, because I find the rooms tend to get warmer over time. And I'm not sure exactly why that happens. I know there's some equipment in there. I'm in there. I'm releasing air. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I'm going to write an IC code to put on this to turn this off and on. And I think I'll set it to, I don't know how warm it gets here, 13. I might just set it for 10 Celsius or something like that. So this turns on and off at 10. And then I'll also have it shut all these down so I don't waste electricity. Until I get the filter hooked up here. Also, you might be asking, why did I set this for 18 when I can go to 20? I think I set it for 18. Because this is cold. If it heats up, it expands, and the next thing you know, you have a big crater where you used to have your atmospherics. Always leave room for warm temperatures to expand things. And this usually burns these filters up pretty quick. It's down 3%. Alright, so I guess that'll be it for today. So we covered, I don't consider atmospherics done yet. It's about 90% done. I may hold off on food. As you can see, I still got 57% in that one. And now on easy mode, by the way, the damage to the lander is turned off. If I was on the hard mode, this would have all been destroyed, including everything that's inside here. So if you're on the hard mode, you want to immediately take everything you can inside your living area as soon as it's built, and then just get rid of this, because the first storm you have, it's going to destroy all this. But I have 2 food left. I would think a lander, this is one of the reasons I think they should change the modes. This lander can enter the atmosphere, but it can't stand up to a dust storm. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I think Rocket Works needs to work their logic on that. There's no reason why a dust storm would destroy a lander. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's a couple things that don't make any sense to me, and I'm getting sidetracked. Easy and hard mode. And I said this in the past, I'm pretty certain astronauts have a way of drinking water through their helmet. I might be wrong, but they could easily use a straw and a pack of food or something inside their suit, and even this food is squishy. So why would I need to open my helmet in the outside environment to drink? I don't think that's logical either, just me. But anyway, we're pretty much done. So tomorrow, I'll have to think about it. I'll program all of these. I'll program this, and I'll show you what I used to program that. It's probably pretty simple. And then I'll have it, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll have just enough to, and I've only used 50 coal. So I'm going to have to experiment one more thing. I know you can turn coal into charcoal, and this becomes more efficient. I may try that too. There's another thing we need to add on here. This secondary list is getting pretty big. Matter of fact, I'll add this under survival, because it is kind of a survival item. We need to address power. And so we'll put that under the survivor list. May have to do that even before food. Solar is the way to go on Mars. I like to use the more expensive solar panels. You use the cheaper ones, and you're constantly repairing them. So I don't even bother with the, I don't know what it's, solar, I don't know what exactly they're called. The non-heavy ones. You want to use heavy, because if you don't use heavy, the regular ones just get destroyed in storms, and you're out there with your duct tape, taping them up over and over and over. And it's annoying. Ooh, boy, that filled up fast. And you see, it's just about ready to shut down. That's a good temperature too, so I won't have to worry. Let's see if it works. It gets to 18. I think I set it to 18. See, it's still running. It's not using as much power, but there we go. So that program does work. And now the CO2 is going to be building up in here because I'm no longer filtering it. But there you go. So that works successfully. I don't think I have to worry about any of the other ones. There's hardly any oxygen, hardly any nitrogen. The pollutants probably going to, no, hardly any pollutants. But I will program all of these to the same as the other one. Okay, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm not quite done with atmospherics. The basics are up and running. And we'll see you tomorrow. I don't want to drag this out too much more, but I think tomorrow we'll probably hit power. I may do most of that behind the scenes because that'll be a long episode, but I may do that before the episode starts and then just quickly explain it. And we'll go from there. But I think power and food are probably the next ones. Finish atmospherics. We'll explain the rest of that tomorrow. It's getting cold. I'm going to turn that off. Okay. Again, Navy Old Salt Gamer, you have a good day. If you find these interesting or helpful, or you have any comments for my list, I'll add anything you want to do, and I'm game to try anything. Just let me know. And we'll see you tomorrow. Please subscribe and like. Have a good day.